Star. Thank you for joining us today. And today, we are privileged to have the church on board on this program called Know Your Star. And without wasting much of your time, I want to introduce the panelists, so to say. Let me introduce the man and the woman I have on the show so that at the end of the day, we get to know them, who they are, what they do, where they come from, where they work from, so such things. Let me welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. And my name is Utawala Amani.
Okay.
From the Really Church of God the Father.
Okay.
That is based in Dar es Salaam, Tegeta. That is the head office. But it happens to have so many branches all over the world.
Oh, okay.
As I speak, it has branches in Kenya. It has branches in Uganda, Malawi, Zambia.
Okay.
It has branches in South Africa. As I speak, in Burundi.
Okay.
Boston in America, Germany. So it has spread all over the world.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Listen, let me just welcome Madam. How are you, Madam?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you.
I'm fine.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, sir, getting to exactly you explained about, the many branches that the church called the Church of God the Father. Where exactly are you working from?
Okay. As I speak, I can give a brief of where I came from.
Exactly.
Until the point I am in at the moment. Okay, I was a businessman earlier.
Okay.
As I was an importer of vehicles, automobiles from Japan, and even having a clearing forwarding, that is to importation and exportation.
Okay.
But when I heard the voice of God the Father that I should join a full-time ministry, that is the time I left what I was doing. I was also a gemstone dealer. I used to sell gemstones before.
Okay.
But when it came to the voice of God the Father, I left the business that I was doing, and I based myself and gave my full time in serving God the Father.
Okay. You talked about the voice of God. How did you hear the voice of God, that you are called by God? How did you hear that? Did someone came and preached to you about God the Father, and then you responded in that way, or you heard the voice, from Himself, God the Father? How did the voice came into you? Did you hear from anyone, or God the Father direct?
Okay, that's a nice question. I was in religious and denomination before.
Okay.
And I was a pastor there.
Okay.
So when time and season of God the Father to come and live with the descendants on earth, the season when it came, I heard that season. I heard the voice from God the Father. Okay. No one preached to me. And when I heard that voice of God the Father, I was told if I need the base of the coming of God the Father, then I should come to the headquarters in Dar es Salaam. I never knew the headquarters before, so I went searching through the guiding of the voice of God the Father, the guidance of the God the Father. That's how I came to reach to Dar es Salaam, where it was based.
Okay.
Yes, the church.
Okay. Now, let me just get to the madam. But before I get to the madam, let me ask you a question. Are you a family man, or you are alone? How many children do you have? Before we proceed.
Okay. I am a father.
Okay.
I'm married to only one wife.
Okay.
Who happens to be HALISI, and she's on my side. And we are blessed having 4 children. Okay. One passed away.
Okay.
So we remained with 4, but we had 5 children.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so getting to the madam. Madam, how did sir, find you? How did you fare with what he's doing? Like, for example, the doctrine he's in, the church. How did you, cope with what he's doing? Didn't you find any difficulties to be with such a man?
First of all, my name is JEMAJIPYA HALISI,
Okay.
and we are from Kenya, and we are ministering in Kenya and also Boston, America.
Okay.
So when we were married, we were not in the full ministry.
Oh, okay.
In the church and denominations, but when we stayed together, we knew that we had a very big purpose in our hearts to minister the word of God, which is now the voice of God the Father. So when we continue staying together and live together, I realized that whoever God gave me as a husband has a very big purpose in him. So as we are continuing searching for God the Father, I understood what is in him. So when we came to know about God the Father and the real church, it was not difficult for me. So it was easy for me to cope with what he is, or what it is in him.
Okay.
So there is no problem. I love what I'm doing right now, helping each other to make sure that the voice of God the Father spreads all over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, before you joined the Church of God the Father, which, church did you used to go before?
Okay, thank you. We were in the last church. The church was called the Last Church.
The Last Church.
Yeah, but this last church was submitted to God the Father, because when you were last church means that it is the end, and the end means death. So we had to submit to God the Father so that God the Father can take total control of everything, to lead, to guide his people, so that everyone will have God the Father in his or her heart, and not anyone to lead the church, but God the Father himself.
Okay. Okay, so thank you very much. Coming to you, sir.
Yes.
Right now, you're working from Kenya, as the madam said.
Yes.
As well as Boston?
Yes,
From
in America.
USA. How do you manage to, two different phrases?
Okay. In Kenya, as you can understand that there is a time difference. There is a time difference between Africa and America. Like now in Kenya, we wake up very early in the morning, around 5 a.m. in the morning. And in America, their 5 a.m. is around midday in Kenya.
Oh, okay.
So I can serve the center that is in Kenya, Kanisa Halisi, from 5 to 7 in the morning, as well as I prepare myself to serve the center that is in Boston in midday or noon.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I am doing it.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
And in America now, there are different cities. I'm serving the descendants of God the Father who are in California, New Jersey, Florida, and Oklahoma. And they are joined with Germany, the ones in Germany, through WhatsApp.
Okay.
So I can teach in one spot, and they can all hear what I'm saying, and they can even ask the questions as I answer when I'm in the office.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, let's talk about, the support from the headquarters. Are you receiving, more support or adequate support for the work that you're doing? Are you being supported as the way you're supposed to be supported to do the work?
Of course.
Okay.
The headquarters that is based in Dar es Salaam, Tegeta, and Baba Halisi is giving me full support.
Okay.
And that's why I am here in Zambia today, because I have been chosen from the headquarters so that I come here. And it is through the headquarters that they chose me to go to US. As I speak, any time from now, I'll be heading to US with the family to go and be stationed there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Madam, before we proceed, can you just exactly mention what exactly you've come to do in Zambia? Do you have any work to do which is, connected to the church? Or maybe you've just come to visit some family and friends, or maybe it's related to the work of God?
Okay, thank you, sir. First of all, we've come here but through the voice of God the Father, through our dad, Baba HALISI.
Okay.
So we are here because of the message that we are given to come and deliver. So we are on a church purpose, church ministry. That's why we've come here to Chipata. We are supposed to go to Petauke and to meet all the descendants who are here for the glory of God the Father. So we are not here for touring purposes or me visiting friends. No, it is just about the church ministry only.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sir, do you do anything apart from ministry? Anything that, let me say just work. Do you work? Do you have any work apart from ministry?
I don't have any work apart from ministry.
Okay.
I have dedicated myself.
Okay. Completely
full time.
Okay.
As from dawn 5 to late in the at night.
Okay.
And I'm saying late at night because I receive calls from Germany and from US in different cities that they need more information about God the Father.
Okay.
And as I told you, because of time difference, you find around 22 hours at night or around 21 hours at night. To them is midday. Okay? To them is during the day. So you can see they have some questions that they need to know more about God the Father. So you find that I wake up very early in the morning and go to bed late at night.
Okay.
So there is no time in between to do anything at all.
No.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's good. Let me take this opportunity to ask you a question. How do you really differentiate, the church called God the Father and these other churches? Or let me say from the previous church, your previous church, and the church of God the Father. How is the difference? How do you see the difference? What's a major reason why you are in, apart from being in other churches?
Okay. As I said earlier, I have been in religion and denomination for quite some time. I can say I spent so many years being in religion and denomination, so I know it very well.
Okay.
So when God the Father said it's time and season for Him to take over, because it is Him who created everything. Now, this is the difference.
Okay.
As we are taught, and you can adhere with me when I say this, we are taught knowing about God the Son, who happens to be Jesus Christ, and we are taught to know, we are made to know of the Holy Spirit, who was left to guide the church, right? But no one has ever taught the descendant the truth, that the controller of all, the master of all, the creator of all was God the Father. And that's why even when we prayed before, we used to pray, our Father who is in heaven. But we are never told who the Father was. So we are all made to know God the Son is the one and the same that is God the Father. And that was not true. Okay? So the difference that I could see from the church of the real church of God the Father is that when you direct everything that you need and that you have to the Creator, directly communication to the Creator without going through God the Son. Because you know, everything we used to do, we used to go through God the Son. Even we concluded our prayers through the name of God the Son. But remember, the creator of all was the Father. And even Jesus said, when you read in Proverbs 4 and verse 20 to 23, it says clearly that the true descendant is the one that will worship God the Father. And God the Father is searching for those.
Okay.
So Jesus actually came to show us the way to God the Father. And he said it all when you read in John 14 and verse 6. He said, I am the way. And in order to reach God the Father, you have to come through me. He said it all. So he was the way for us to reach God the Father. But whoever brought the gospel, the missionaries, made us to know when you stay on the way, you have reached the destination. But the destination was not the way. The destination was to reach through that way. Am I communicating?
Okay.
So you see that all of us were made to embrace Jesus, the way.
Okay.
But not following that way to reach God the Father, because he said it. You can only reach God the Father through me, because I'm the way. So we reached the way, God, Jesus. So when the time of Jesus elapsed, and that was millennium 2000, so many people have never known the millennium 2000, what was all about. It was the time that the season of Jesus was elapsing. The season of God the Son was elapsing to pave way for God the Father. So we went through that way, and now we have reached to the destination that the way was showing us, that is God the Father.
All right. Okay, thank you so much. Madam, let's talk about the issue of the church called God the Father. Is it, working together with the government, or you are abominated to work with the government? Do you work with the government as a church? From Kenya, where you're from, is the church working with the government?
Yeah, the church is working together with the government, because one of the main aspects is that the church in the past, the church was not working together with the government. When you look at the season of Moses, he was not working together with Pharaoh, which is the government itself. So it was very difficult for the people of Israel and the government to be together. They were hindered from doing so many things to worship their true God. Even when you come to the season of Jesus, for example, he was not working together with Herod. But now, Kanisa Halisi, we are working with the government so that we can become one. The main purpose of the real Church of God the Father, which is Kanisa Halisi la Mungu Baba, is supposed to unite all, the community, the society, the church, and the government. So the nation where we are working as one. Everything we do, the nation or the government supports us in everything. Likewise, in our headquarters, where the headquarters is based in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, they're working together with the nation.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. There's some questions. Now, how can you mention some of the things that you can work with the government? Like which things? Like in which areas? Like.
Okay. The areas that we are working with the government, there are three aspects that are the mainstream, I can call. The nation needs peace.
Oh, okay.
And without peace, there is no prosperity in any government. Let's say, for example, if you are held hostage today, or if the curfew was imposed to everybody, will you go out to work? No. So when peace prevails, automatically the production is there. The point number two that I will, let me say the point before I elaborate in 1 minute. Point number two, production.
Oh, okay.
There is one, peace, two, production. And the third one, that is main, it is what we call, I can call it unconditional love, or the love that does not segregate or separate anyone.
Okay.
So let me start with peace. As I said earlier, every nation, in order for the citizen to be healthy, both physically and mentally and all areas, they need peace. You can adhere with me that it is through peace even the government official on a high rank can work well to make sure their citizens, everything is in order. So, Kanisa Halisi, it has best match in making sure that we induce in everybody's mind that we should all preach and instill peace even to those who are allergic to peace, so that they can change ultimately.
No, okay.
And I know God the Father can change anything. And we need production. The nation needs to move ahead. The nation needs to prosper in all areas. And that's why you have different ministries. And every ministry in a government needs production for it to move. So, what we are trying to tell the world, the main aim of God the Father from the word go, or from the arsenal of it, or from the start, was production. And that's why when he created Adam and Eve, what he imposed was the Garden of Eden that is full of production. Okay? When he created cherubite in the first season, even before Adam, as we read in Ezekiel 28, verse 12 to 15, he was given production of minerals, mines. Okay? And the production, another production was given is to worship and praise only God the Father. And when I'm talking of production here, anything that you do in your daily course that is rightful before God the Father, that's production. A teacher goes to school to teach. He's going for production. The driver to ferry people from town to cities, that is production. A farmer in the farm, that is production. Even me, as I speak, I'm here to teach about this. I am on production zone. Yes. Another thing, that is the third point. It is what I call, let me call it unconditional love. Okay?
Okay.
We found in nations, and you can adhere with this with me in this. There are so many segregations here and there, divisions, and there is what we call divide and rule. We are divided so that the one who has divided us can rule us better. Okay, so you find that Christians cannot sit together with the Muslims. All right. You can find that Indians cannot even be together with Christian and Muslims. So you find Indians, they go their way, Christians, they go their way, and the Muslims, they go their way. But let's look at this aspect. When I say today in Zambia, Muslims should not buy things from Christians, and Christians should not buy anything from Hindus, for example, will there be any production really? Will there be any good outcome? So we need to be together in this. And this church is teaching this, that despite of religious background, tribal, color, creed, or what, we need to come together. Why? God the Father is one, and he only has one, his descendants.
Okay.
Despite of color, religion, and denomination. So we find in our church, there are so many Muslims. We have Indians there.
Okay.
And we eat together, we do everything together, because they have known the principle of that church.
Okay.
It is to bring people together, and that's what we are doing.
Okay.
So, anything to do with tribal line, the color, the creed, no.
Okay.
We are all one.
Okay. Yes. All right. Thank you so much. I think I'm loving what you are explaining, especially on the part of how we can work with the government. I'm loving that.
Yes.
And coming to you, madam, response from the people. Let's talk about what you do. How do people receive what you do in from Kenya, where you're working from? How is the response about what you're doing?
The response is good because when you explain about what God the Father is working for us, for instance, okay, like me.
Are people not rejecting that? Are people not saying, no, what is this? Wow.
No, they're not. Okay, at times it was very difficult to convince people that you are supposed to follow this way. You come to God the Father, He has everything. Maybe I can read shortly in 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 24. It says that, then comes the end, when He shall have delivered up the kingdom to God the Father, when He shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. So out there, if we explain that, even the Son, He went and gave His Father all the glory, all the authority. So here in God the Father, He has all the power. He has all the authority. He's the one who ruleth.
Okay.
So why should we not follow this Father? Because Jesus, let me say direct, Jesus has already submitted to God the Father.
Okay.
So it is not a problem for them to realize that, this is the right season of God the Father. Because Jesus said, time will come that God, my Father, will come and He will rule over everything. So it is not difficult for this message to pave way, to penetrate to the community. They are loving it so much. And when they see our background, where we were, and now, there is so much difference because we have peace, abundance peace in our hearts. We used to struggle spiritually, but now God the Father liveth in us. It is not us we are living, it is Him. So everything is in order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So as we are coming to the end of the interview, sir, like 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years from now, how do you see, the church going? Are you expecting more growth? Are you expecting some other things to add up to your church? Or where do you see it's like your church, your branch going? Do you expect more growth? Or maybe you're expecting a downfall, like
No.
Okay, let me say this. Up to today, where you have reached, there is a tremendous change.
Oh.
And there is a tremendous a flocking of people from religion and denomination to the real church. Because in the real church, we only stand for the truth and the truth alone. And if everywhere we go and we show people the truth in the book, what we are supposed to do, it is to show the reality that is written, as she has just read.
Okay.
So we show everyone, and we ask everyone to come with his own book, the Bible, and the book of the pen, so that he can read he can read the script in his own book that has come with, to know that it was written. Why am I saying this? There are so many things that was put under the cover or was put beneath or under the bed that they were not exposed. The real thing was not exposed. The missionaries who came, I can say, they are only given a certain point to reach, but not to cross there. So they are limited. They could not have taught exactly what was there because they were taught, they were limited on what to teach. But when God the Father came, removed the limitations. So we are reading this book the way it is and the way it's supposed to be read.
Okay.
So, and that's what has made people to realize, so this is what we are supposed to do. Like, let's say, for example, as I told you, in John 14 and verse 6, we are told Jesus was the way. And he said, and no one can reach God the Father without coming through me. That was fine. So we went through Jesus, and we are all in Jesus. Okay? But remember, that was the way. Let me ask you, for example, when you are told today to go to Dar es Salaam, or to go to any capital city to go to Dar es Salaam, and you reach in the middle of the journey, and you stand there and say, here I am in Dar es Salaam. Is that possible? You have to reach there. So when you reach to the way, that is God the Son, you can't say you have reached to God the Father, because he was the way to reach to God the Father. But now you see, the missionaries only told us, embrace the way. We remain the way. So I'm saying this to all who is listening to me today. We do not say Jesus was bad, or we are sublining Jesus here. We are not. We love Jesus because he was only the way. But to reach who? The Father.
Okay.
And we have all gone to that way, and now we have reached the Father. So I'm urging anyone who is listening to this, you are on the way, but you have not reached the destination. Okay. So you need to move on and reach the destination that Jesus said.
Okay.
So I tell people, I love Jesus more than you do, because I am following what he told us, that I am only the way to reach to my Father. So you just come to me, but you reach to, you have a way to him. So we had the way to God the Father, to the Father. But now some are told, you just stay here on the way. It means you are halfway the journey.
Okay.
So you need the really church of God the Father to teach you how to reach God the Father. He said in John 14, as from verse 28 to 30, he will come, the mightier of this world, who happens to be my Father. And I am telling you this before it happens, so that if it happens, you already know, adhere to it and go there. Okay. He said it all.
Okay.
So everybody should go to God the Father. Why? He is the creator of all. What you see and you did not see was created by God the Father. And whoever we are worshiping, Jesus, some are worshiping maybe Muhammad, and some, they all came from the Father. Jesus was the Son of God the Father.
Okay.
So we need to go to the Creator who has everything what it takes in our lives.
Okay, thank you so much. I think people have gotten something from what you're just from explaining. So I appreciate so much. Now, your last words, Madam. I think in your last words you should mention as well how good is it to have government officials who know God the Father? How good is it?
It is very good and very important for the government officials to know God the Father. You cannot work or perform or deliver to the society without God the Father in you. So in Kanisa Halisi, or the real Church of God the Father, we build schools. We help in building schools and health facilities, so that when the community sees that the government and the church are one, it will be easier for the government official to penetrate to the community, to the society, and help them as they want. Because the society or the community, they believe so much in God the Father. They believe in working together with their Creator. So it is very important for the government officials to have the church by their side to work with them. In Kenya, we have a member of parliament who is also a priest or a kuhani. She has a center in Machakos. So we are very happy that Kenya is well represented. We have a member of parliament there who is working together with the church. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Your concluding remarks, sir, as we are getting to the very end of the program.
Okay, let me say this. Despite of your color, despite of your religion, your educational background, despite of who you are, we all need God the Father. Because He is the creator of all. You cannot penetrate and be successful in anything in this world without the Creator. And this is the message. Creator knows every individual from before he was born, as we read in Jeremiah 1 and verse 5, to death. He knows you even before you are born. So He knows what you go through and what you are supposed to do. So when you link yourself with God the Father, who happens to be in your heart? Because some can ask, what is the color of God the Father? How does He dress? And where can you find Him? God the Father is in everybody's heart, whoever has accepted Him. And when you accept Him and He stays in your heart, He knows what you want. He knows what is ahead of you. So, for sure, your life will be so smooth. As you see me, my life is okay. Yes.
All right, I must mention that thank you so much, and I'm so impressed with what you've just explained, and people have gotten something from what you've explained. I thank you so much for featuring on the program, and I know that people will be changed somehow by what you've just been explaining. So thank you so much, sir, and thank you so much, madam, for featuring in the program. Thank you. All right, so thank you, viewers, for watching the program called Know Your Star. Thank you so much. I was chatting, with, I forgot the names. In fact, your names are a little bit difficult to pronounce.
Utawala, Amani.
Okay.
And I'm JEMAJIPYA, HALISI.
Thank you so much. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching CTV. That's channel 116 on Topstar. You can watch the program every Thursday at 19:30 and every Friday at 11:05, as well as on Brace Media Inc. YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel so that you are notified every time we upload the video. So thank you so much for watching.